Welcome back to MMA Underground, your favorite part of Tuesday. I'm on half the dynamic duo known as Buddy V, killing it with the one and only.
Sam K. And shit, man, we got two phenomenal guests in the building. All the way from Streetbeefs West Coast, we have the one, the only, the welterweight champion in the building, El Coyote. And all the way from Street Beef Scrapyard, you know him. He's naughty. It's Naughty Nate.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Chilling, man, chilling. How y'all feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling real good. We had a great event this past weekend.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I wasn't able to compete. My opponent didn't want to do any kickboxing. That's kind of what I'm transferring into is kickboxing. I'm kind of getting away from the boxing right now. But I did have two of my guys that I coach compete, and they both did really well. I had Matthew Taylor, aka Dad. He went up against Crazy Legs, and he did a phenomenal job. It was a rematch, and he ended up taking the decision. And then I also had the chef, Roman. He went up against, I think it was a traveling boxing team, Friday Night Fades. They had an opponent. His name was Bully, and they went all three rounds. And it was a really, really good test for Roman, and I'm really proud of him. He stuck out the whole fight, man, and it was a great test. So we had a great event. We had the documentary there. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
We get a little something,
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to touch on that, that'd be dope for the people who don't know.
So from my understanding, Scrapyard is getting a documentary. Are you guys hearing that? Is that me
I was
or is
about
that
to
you
say,
guys?
Jay, can you just while he's talking? All right, we got you.
Okay, cool. So yeah, the documentary. Yeah, it's supposed to be the biggest thing that happened so far for the Scrapyard, man. It's a huge event. They were out there for 2 days. They're out there on Friday doing all the filming when we're setting up. I was able to get in some jujitsu rounds in, and then we did a little bit of stand up rounds. Me and Fire Chicken were doing a couple rounds going on. I think I did a round with you too, buddy. We were able to get it around in on Saturday, so that was fun. I mean, on Friday, and then Saturday we had the events, which was amazing. A lot of fights. I think 27 fights that day. So it's a huge event. We had the documentary out there. We had the vendors out there. Cavocado. If you haven't had their tacos yet, man, you got to check them out. They have amazing tacos. Let's see. Yeah, man, it was just a wild weekend, and plus I went over there and I went up there at on Thursday, so I stayed Thursday to Sunday, so it was like a little vacay for me too, just a wild couple days. After the event on Saturday, we went out and had dinner with Fire Chicken and the fam, and it was just a crazy night, man. Really good experience, really good.
Oh yeah, it was cool to be able to see some of the stuff on Friday, listen to you talk to some of the people, and I was kind of bummed I didn't get to see everything on Saturday, but I already know you probably got to hear your coaching in the background, and can't watch those fights, man.
Yeah, I ended up doing like I cornered like 10 fights, man. Even though I didn't compete, I ended up doing like cornering like 10 of them. So that was kind of cool.
Dang, I can stick it. When El Coyote comes back, man, if you hear me, I got a question for you. But I was gonna ask you because Naughty Nate, where was it? Oh, so I was curious because we've talked about this a few times, and as I was rewatching some of your fights, I remember one thing that stood out was on your fight with Dre No Doctor. It was mentioned it was on April 20th. And one thing we talk about is, some people and with you having, coaching and fighting and all these other things. I was curious about your thoughts on it, whether people use it for recovery, if you think it hinders cardio, or whether it's just like, oh, it doesn't even get in the way. Nate Diaz light it up and go kick some ass in the cage, or
I mean, man, to each their own. I use it for medical use. I don't take any kind of opiates. I don't do painkillers. I don't do any kind of uppers. I don't even drink alcohol. Uh, it helps me
oh shit.
sleep. It helps me recover. I feel good on it. I don't think my cardio is bad at all. I don't know if you saw my last match, but I don't mind going a full 6 minutes, no problem, bro. So it doesn't really affect me, and it doesn't really affect my guys. So to each their own, man. I know people have their own feelings about it, and that's fine. But like I said, yeah, cardio is key. I was gonna say, what's even more key than that cardio is consistency. Consistency is key, man. And if you're consistent, you're bound to have really good cardio.
Oh shit! No, I definitely he caught me on that one. We were sitting there doing some rounds, and at the end of the round, I was like, "Ooh!" He's like, "Don't you always say cardio's key on the show?" And I was like, "That's Somke's catchphrase."
No, no, man, you did good. You're good, man. I know we keep
For
a pretty
sure.
fast pace, but it's part of the style.
Heck yeah! No, I was gonna notice. When I caught on during your different fights and whatnot. The first one was short temper. When I realized I like how you always do, like you hit your gloves and you switch your stances consistently. Do you do that to kind of throw your opponent off, or are you just so comfortable? I mean, you just can fight however, or
So I'm traditionally trained as a karate guy, so I'm used to doing some switch steps. I'm more of a hands and feet guy. Boxing was just kind of something I got into because I had an injury on my knee. Now that's all recovered, so I'm ready to jump in there and start using my feet too. But I'm really comfortable either way, man. Right-handed, I mean, orthodox or southpaw. I like catching the outside on people and driving in and closing them off. So that's kind of part of my game plan for sure, mixing it up.
oh yeah, people don't know what to do.
Shit, man. You said you were a karate guy, but I saw you throwing some hands with Black Panther, man, and you were looking like a pretty good boxer. I mean, you had a hell
Well,
of a fight, and you got the dub.
yeah, karate just means empty hand, bro. So they have boxing techniques. I mean, it's all martial arts, man. It's just how you kind of organize it, and then it becomes a system, right? But the way I look at karate is I use all concepts, whether it's boxing, Muay Thai. We use jujitsu, and I'll call it ground karate, man. It's all karate to me. It's martial arts.
Oh yeah, it was kind of interesting because as I was watching some of the fights and going through again, I was gonna say, how did it feel to be able to to that one of your wins that you accumulated was on the 4-year anniversary? How did it feel to be able to make that staple on there? Like, yeah.
It was my first anniversary with the scrapyard, so it was pretty significant for me. I didn't going into the scrapyard. I had a misconception like everybody else. I thought it was just backyard fighting, you know, and it kind of has. If you watch some of the videos, if you're not part of the event, you can kind of again come up with that misconception. But really, it's about community. And when I showed up there, everybody's so welcoming and inviting, and it's an event, and we're happy to be a part of it. So being able to be a part of the 4-year anniversary was amazing. And then going up against Black Panther was also another great opportunity for me. I really respect him as an opponent. I love the message that he brings. He's always trying to uplift the youth and talking and shedding light on that. And I think that's important, man. I mean, he's a veteran in there, and he's trying to pass down his knowledge and use that platform to put out a positive message. So it was a great experience for me for sure.
And before we continue, everybody, Samke, everybody, viewers watching at home, I just have to let you know that unfortunately El Coyote is having some issues with his phone, and Jay had just let me know he might not be able to hop back on the show for the evening. So sorry about that.
That's all right. I'm here, guys. I got you guys. What do you got? Fire them off.
Heck yeah. It's gonna be heck of fun. And I'm actually kind of curious because you said how me and Sam K and Jay brings up behind the show too all the time about the misconception people have and being at an actual gym. Have you ever dealt with people, I mean, even outside of other gyms, talking to them about people who kind of have that negative view towards street beefs, where it's just like, oh, don't waste your time. Oh, don't go over there.
Yeah, every once in a while we'll come across it, and it's always from people who've never been there. So, I mean, that should say something right there, man. I mean, people talk out of their ass all the time, and you just got to take it with a grain of salt, man. I always say, you show up. I say that to the same thing on the trolls online. I mean, it's easy. It's easy to shut somebody up in this, bro. Show up, put some gloves on, and let's do it. And we'll see if you really know what you're talking about instead of sitting there like what do they call those couch quarterbacks?
Oh,
There's a lot of
I
them
know.
online, man. I mean, it's easy to sit there and talk crap. It's a little different when you're standing in front of the guy and he's swinging at you.
Facts.
Right. They're sitting there with Cheeto dust on their fingers, like I would have head kicked them. I'm like, you can't even wipe your
Oh
own
yeah,
ass.
and it's cool. We need those guys. They they put views up and stuff, so we need them. So it's all good, man. It's all in good fun. It's just the reality is most people are just very ignorant to what their own ability is. They have a really common misconception of what they can do under duress and in a real hand-to-hand situation. So Mike Tyson said it best. Everybody has a plan until they get hit in the face, right? So I think that holds true.
Very much. Very much. How many fights do you have in the scrapyard, bro?
So I did my third one with Black Panther. Only
Okay.
three.
Okay.
Yeah. All together as a competition team, which quick shout out to the Reptilian Top team over at Columbia River Jiu Jitsu. Currently, right now, we are, I believe, 12-2 as
Come
a
on, man.
competition team. Yeah.
And we've had a few of the members on the show, but if you want to go ahead and, for the people who don't know, if you want to go ahead and talk about the team.
Oh, sure. So we got Mighty Matt. He's on my team. I got Big Ugly. He's over there. Dad. He's over there. The chef's over there. Red Fox is with us. Lisa. I don't know if you guys know who Lisa is. She does all the check-in and stuff, the weigh-ins at the event.
Yes.
She trains over there with us.
Oh.
Shoot, I got I don't know what he goes by in the scrapyard, but his name's Igor, and he had an event, or he's had a match over at scrapyard. Every once in a while, we'll get Chongo. He'll stop in and he'll get some rounds in with us on Friday nights. Same with John Edwards. He'll stop in on Fridays and get some rounds in with us. We got an open mat Friday nights. So, yeah, man, we got our own little community going on down here, and we train anybody in the Portland, Vancouver area that wants to stop in and get some rounds in. You guys are more than welcome. You too, buddy, and Samke, you guys are welcome to my gym anytime, and we'd be happy to get some rounds in with you guys, man. We're all about supporting and building up fighters, and I think the scrapyard is a great place to do that, man. It's not really about just beating people up. It's really about building people up. A lot of these or all these fights, they don't count towards really anything other than notoriety online, right? Like they're not going to count towards your amateur record or your pro record. So the way I look at these competition things is they're just a really good opportunity to get some hard sparring in, get some real solid training in with an uncompliant individual, somebody that's willing to put himself out there with you. So because I look at it like that, I don't really have to deal with a lot of the competitive nature that some of the guys, bring to this atmosphere. I don't have the ego or anything like that either. Like it's all just a wonderful experience and fun for me, man.
That's dope, man.
And I know that Ryan was curious because you have that naughty in front of your name, man. I mean, what are you doing? Are we gonna end up seeing an OnlyFans one day?
Yeah, probably keep looking for it, man. I'm sure it's out there. Who knows? If I could get some subscribers, let me know, man. I'll sit there and eat food on camera, whatever you need, man.
Ryan is your guy. Number one fan.
Hey. I know.
Number
I
one
heard
fan.
he's asking about it too. Jeez, Ryan. Settle down, bud. Yeah. Hit my DMs up, buddy. We'll work something out. I got a Cash App.
Hey, but that leads into a good segue, man. Tell us, how did you get your name, Naughty Nate?
So I don't pick nicknames. All right, I don't think you should pick your own nickname personally. If you do, that's your thing. So I didn't really know what I was gonna be going into the scrapyard event. Some of the guys at my gym wanted me to go in as Nasty Nate because they training with them. They said I had some like good combinations, and we say some pretty off the cuff crap at the gym sometimes. So it just was like an inside joke, and it kind of fit. Then when I got to the event, again, I didn't want to say, "Oh, hey, I'm Nasty Nate" to the check-in lady, which happened to be Lisa, by the way. So I said, I don't really have a what is it, nickname yet. And I said, I don't really know of one. And we started naming out names. She goes, how about Naughty Nate? And I was like, hey, whatever, let's go with that. And, I've always been a kind of a naughty boy my whole life. And so it's like, it kind of fits. It'll work out for me.
Heck yeah.
So the rest is history. Now it's me.
Dope.
How'd y'all get your name? Yeah, either one. How'd you guys get your names?
You go first, buddy. Yours is.
So my birth name is Nathaniel Michael Valenzuela. But when I was real little, I was born, my grandpa was always like, that's my buddy boy. And so, wow, right. I was always called Buddy Boy. When I went to school, they're like, you can't write boy on your papers. So since my last name is Valenzuela, it became Buddy V. And so growing up was always, oh, Buddy V, oh, Buddy, hey, Buddy. And I think like it was like, yeah, when I was in second or third grade or something, we had a substitute, and they're like, "Oh, Nathaniel Valenzuela." I was like, "No, my name's Buddy," because I legitimately thought that was my real name, and for my whole life I've gone by Buddy. So when I was like, "Pick a nickname," I was like, "Well, technically, I already go by a nickname, so it fits."
There you go. Yeah, easy peasy. There you go.
Hey, and I know you've said this story, but I feel like this is my first time hearing you say Nathaniel. Like Nathaniel.
Dang, bro,
I might have left out the
they gave you
name.
the full Nathaniel, huh? I only got Nathan. That was it. I didn't get the full Nathaniel. Dang.
Nope.
That's a rich name right there, bro. Hey, do you know what that means?
You said what?
Do you know what Nathan and Nathaniel mean? The meaning of it?
Yeah.
It means a gift from God.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I let everybody know that, bro. I like throw that shit out all the time. It's all cool. There you go. It's a gift for you too.
Yeah, I knew there's a reason why I smile so much.
Yeah.
Hey, but Buddy V really does. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Are you a tourist too?
Me? No, I was born up here in Washington. I've lived all around Washington my whole life.
No, I mean, are you a tourist? Were you born in April?
No, tourist, not tourist. No,
you're not a tourist, sir.
Oh, never mind. I thought we were twins, bro. Never mind. I'm a tourist. Never mind. It's all good. All right.
Straight brothers over here.
All right. What about you, Songcat?
Man. Mine was bestowed upon me from the gods.
Yeah?
The typo gods.
Okay.
Basically, it was years ago, man. I was making music, looking for a name, and I had a name that I thought was unique, and then I started seeing people pop up with that name. So I was like, nah, we gotta find something else. And so I'm riding with a friend of mine one day, and we just riding, smoking and shit. And he's telling me this story about this chick, and then he shows me her text message, and he's like reading off her message, and then he goes, "Man, look at this. She can't even spell smoke right." So I'm like, "What you mean? How do you misspell smoke?" So I look at it, and as soon as I saw it, it just it stuck with me because I started pronouncing it. And every time I would try to pronounce it, I had a different enunciation. And I was like, oh shit, I think I got something. I like words. I was a musical artist, so words stick out. You know what I mean? So
this is a crazy How I Met Your Mother story, isn't it?
Real shit. Because like at the time, right? I figured out, well, you know what? No matter how you pronounce it, it's different. It's gonna sound a certain way. You can say it you can say it with an Asian dialect. You can say it with a Hispanic dialect. You could say it, you know, with an African dialect, and it still fits, right?
Yeah,
So,
sounds pretty cool.
and then I was like, you know, when I started, when people started finding out, it instantly creates a conversation, and the conversation leads to the music. So
All right.
it
What kind
was
of music
almost
do you
like
do? Let's lead it all the way to it. What kind of music do you do?
very eclectic, sir. Very eclectic.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to, because we're talking way back in the day, but I used to make stuff purposely offbeat,
Uh-huh.
uh, and I would layer it in a way that you wouldn't know it was offbeat until you really got into it, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I
clever.
mean? So if you
Yeah.
put so many things offbeat, you now have something that's one and one.
Yeah, right. Okay. I feel you.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
But
He's
enough
all
about me, man. Let's get back to you, bro. Let's get
Sure,
back to
sure.
you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sorry. It's his stuff, man. That's what it is. Gets me going.
yeah. That was a good question though. But scrapyard.
Yeah.
Um, who at the scrapyard could you see yourself locking horns with?
I can't see myself locking horns with anybody at Scrapyard, bro. I think like I said, I'm not the competitive part of me is I'm looking for solid training, man. And I
Okay.
think there's a lot of good, solid guys there that'll be able to provide that for sure. There's a lot of talent there. And I'm happy to go up against anyone and just see what happens, you know. But I'm not looking to. I'm not one of those guys showing up here again to feed my ego or even to end up injuring anyone. Some of these guys are trying to go amateur. Some of them are even trying to go pro one day. So getting in the ring, I guess, at the scrapyard and potentially getting injured to me is a little bit of a waste. You know, if those are your dreams, then you got to be careful. You got to be smart, man.
Yeah.
And by that, you should be training. You know, don't be getting in there and not be training, bro. Especially against guys that are coming from a gym. I mean, we train. That's what we do, bro. Look at the guys we're producing. They're guys that look like they train, and that's because that's what we're doing there. So, um, I've met a lot of like buddies, like people I consider friends though, not rivals. You know, even the guys I've had matches with, Short Temper and Dre No Doctor and Black Panther. I've only had three, but I talk to them pretty regularly. I was training with Short Temper Saturday prior to the event. We were doing kickboxing and we were just doing a couple rounds, just some light training, going over some concepts and stuff like that. And I'd be happy to do that with anyone then, regardless if we're competing that day or not, because that's not what I view this as. We're not getting you're not getting paid out there, guys. So use it for what I feel like it's intended for. If you got beef with someone, go out there and handle it. That's a safe, responsible way to handle that. Go out there and handle it like some men. But if you're just showing up and you're looking to get some experience, I think you should show up with the right attitude. Don't show up there thinking you're gonna, murder people and start freaking out. I don't know if you guys ever seen those fighters that are emotional. They try to do those crazy stare offs and get all on people's face or show up with bad attitudes. Like this isn't that kind of environment, man. And I've been to amateur events before. I know how chaotic they can get. It's not that kind of environment, bro. I believe
it's
fire.
nice to be able to see, like, hear that, because I know in some of the beginning of Scrapyard or even some of the OG, or I'm sure West Coast had to deal with it, where it's like you have to pick out the bad weeds at first too. You can kind of see where people didn't know, and they're like, "Oh, it's like backyard." They come a couple friends, like, "Fuck that, we're gonna fuck everyone up here." Blah 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 blah. And, like, it's not like that.
Sure. I mean, we are fighting. You're gonna get that. There's guys out there that are fighting, and you're getting all kinds of walks of life that come through. You know, the way I'd like it to be, and the way I feel like it is, and what Fire Chicken has been able to provide for a lot of people is a great event that guys can look forward to. You know, some of these guys that are going there, it's all they have to look forward to every month. You know, a lot of these guys are dealing with mental health issues. You know, the stress of life, whether it's financial or you know your kids or your work, whatever it is, man. And this provides them with like a little bit of an outlet, so why not be able to show up and make it a great time, bro? Yeah, I can punch you in the face. We can have some hard rounds. If you catch me and knock me out, you catch me and knock me out. That's on me. That you just exposed something I need to work on, and I appreciate that. And I'll get up and I'll hug you, I'll shake your hand, and we're both better for it. You know, I hope that they look at that the same way as well. That we're there to help build each other up, not beat each other down.
Absolutely. And before we continue, I know Ryan asked earlier what you fight at, because I know like 180, 175.
197. I fight at 195, I guess, if I'm going to go to like an amateur event, 195. But currently I walk around 197. I fluctuate 197, 200, around there. So I'm trying not to fight heavyweight anymore because I started the carnivore diet probably about a month or two ago, and I lost like 20 pounds. So I'm like, hey, I'm lighter now. I got light to fight lighter guys. So let's keep it to
Yeah, let's
that.
go
You know?
faster.
What's
Yeah, those heavyweight boys. I'm getting too old for those guys. They hit hard, bro.
I was going to ask you, what's your opinion? You know, kind of give us a little bit of detail to the carnivore diet.
Well, the way I started for the first 3 weeks, all I ate was steak, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I don't know if that's the way you're supposed to do it. Okay, this is the way I did it. All right, I
Yeah.
just ate steak, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 3 weeks. I had to adjust it because there is a calorie deficit you go through, and I was still working out while I was doing it. So I added some supplements to it as well. I got on my multivitamins. I take this Prime, so it's a testosterone booster. I take what the hell else? Oh, I take like this organ vitamin as well. So it's like beef organs. I take a couple of those as well. I don't take a ton of vitamins, probably like 8, and that seemed to help quite a bit. And once my body acclimated to just eating meat primarily, it took about a month in, I started to feel good again. I got my energy back. I wasn't like feeling heavy or bloated anymore. And that was a big thing when I transferred from like eating what I used to eat to eating the carnivore diet, is I have no more inflammation. And as a guy that's been doing martial arts going on 24 years now, I've had a lot of injuries in my time, and inflammation is what was killer, man. I mean, I'd get up in the morning and like roll out of bed and lay on the floor and shit. Nowadays, I don't have that issue at all. I can get up and just get right to my day, bro. So it's definitely something to look into. I recommend it for anybody that's struggling with any kind of weight issues. I know I have in my past as well. So I highly recommend it.
Gosh, I know one thing that helped me with my knees. They only pop tiny. It's so quiet you can't hear it now. Before you could hear it, now you can't. Was that
Right.
a couple of fresh lemons in the morning with a cup of water? Squeeze like 3 lemons, shoot that with a pint of glass, and I was like, "Oh, my joints are starting to feel good. All right."
There you go, man. Hey, whatever works. You got to find what works for you.
Oh yeah, and I know that we
Yeah.
kink out a little question for Samke. He was like, "Man, is it even possible for someone to get banned from the West Coast group? Because I mean, you always go crazy."
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't happen often. But yeah, there's been people who've been banned. Um, just like I said, it don't happen too often. There's the banter is typically welcome.
Yeah, what is I mean, what are the differences like? I've never been out to the West Coast branch. I've only ever done the scrapyard. I mean, is the atmosphere different? Do you feel like you get the same level of competition? Is it I mean, What's it
Um,
like?
so I would say like the atmosphere is similar. Um, it may not seem like it because the branches aren't as close as they could or should be. But believe it or not, to a lot of people, uh, from what I experienced personally, I experienced a lot of love from the scrapyard when I went out, and I saw a lot of community and fellowship, and a lot of that is what I experienced already in the West Coast. Um,
Okay, it's like a home away from home for you, huh?
yeah, yeah,
That's cool.
and you know, I've kind of like extended my hand, you know, to keep people over there, you know, and built relationships over the years. You know what I mean? Um, And whereas with the West Coast, we have that same thing going on over here. I would say there's probably, you know, how like there's core groups of every branch, core groups of people who have been established, been there, you know, been doing whatever they do.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
I would say the West Coast gets, even though we do have that those core groups within our branch, we get a lot of new people every event. So you'll get like a handful of returning people or familiar faces, but you'll get a pretty good amount of new, fresh faces, talent, you know, what have you.
Do you
But
guys have somewhat of a open door policy, kind of like the scrapyard does, where you sign up on Facebook and then when you're
Mhm.
signed up, you're able to show up?
That's every branch of Street Beefs.
Okay.
OGR. I think well, actually, Dirty South is a little bit different because Dirty South only does like events every 3-4 months, so they do have a little bit of a different sign up process. But the main branches, OGR, Scrapyard, West Coast, we all kind of operate the same, all throughout the Facebook group. The main differences would really be the locations. You know what I mean? The actual cages themselves. Um, you know, Scrapyard, you guys have the turf. You have a pretty big cage, uh, a level ground. Whereas OG Yard, sometimes they're in grass, sometimes they're in mud. You know, sometimes they're in straight dirt. Sometimes they're indoors. Most of the time they're outdoors. West Coast, sand, heat, dry heat.
Yeah.
You
Is it
know,
like that intentionally, or is that just the places that you guys can get at the time?
say that one more time.
Do you keep it like that intentionally, or is that just like those are the places that are available at the time of the event?
That's intentional.
Okay.
So if you look at OG Yard, every branch is essentially following the blueprint of the OG Yard, and the
Uh-huh.
OG Yard, you know, a lot of outside people have given the OG Yard shit because, hey, why aren't they, you know, fighting in this type of situation? The UFC, the one FC, you know, so the thing about Street Beefs is there's that gutter outdoors, you know, I guess that visceral, you know, underground edgy feel of being backyard. And Scarface has always
I
wanted
can
to kind
understand that. Like you want to stay kind of true to the roots to some degree. I think though over time, especially as it progresses, it's natural to evolve. You know,
sure, sure.
especially fighter safety, man. That's a big thing, and your terrain could play a big factor when it comes to that, for sure. So, just my thoughts on it. I'm sure it's been successful, so obviously it's working. It's working out well, and there's no shortage of people wanting to go out and test their metal in these events.
Yeah.
So that's
But
great.
if you look at the OG yard and if you look at West Coast, uh, there's been upgrades and there has been changes to every cage. The
Yeah,
West
that's
Coast
awesome.
has multiple cages, and next year one of the cages that we have will be matted. OG yard already has a matted, plus
Yeah,
an indoors, you know, facility
That's what I'm saying. The natural evolution of it. It's bound to happen, you know. As you grow, you're just going to become more and more professional, whether you like it or not. It's going to happen, you know.
Yeah, but there's always going to be that backyard option is always going to be there, you know,
I
because
hope
again,
so. You know, I
that's
think
a
it
part
should
of the
be.
brand.
Yeah, it's like
I
I
like
said,
how they
staying
have.
true to the roots.
Yeah, I like it's like the unlockable stages. I always say it's like a video game because yeah, you get that grittiness of the dirt, the grittiness of the sand, the grittiness of the astroturf and the elements, especially because it's
Yeah.
like in Virginia, you can be cold as shit or hot as stuff. And I mean, when you go to the West Coast, you're almost guaranteed to be baked by the sun, and you know by the time your fight comes, you're gonna be a couple shades darker. Up
Oh yeah.
here, you know, in
Bruh.
Washington, with all that cold weather, and I can speak from experience, that cold sting for some of those kicks that you know you check real quick. Oh, that don't hurt. All of a sudden, you get that slap. You're like, "Whoa!"
Oh yeah. Or you
You know, it's kind of
slip.
cool.
Yeah. You go up for a head kick, and all of a sudden you slip. You're on your ass. Something like that, man. It happens.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and it's
Hmm.
I'm curious because we've been talking about the different cages, and I know we talked to Red Fox, we brought up the scarcity of female fighters, and so some of them travel. But instead of asking if you would you travel with your team? Because I know that some people have gone with groups. We've had a scrapyard invasion, we've had West Coast invasion, we've had OG invasions. Would you consider doing that with the Columbia River Jiu Jitsu team, or I mean the Reptilian Jiu Jitsu team, or
So it's
Reptilian Fight team? Sorry.
I got you, guys. Reptilian top team, and that's our competition team, and we represent Columbia River Jiu Jitsu, which is the name of the gym.
Mm.
So,
Thank
would we
you.
travel? I mean, yeah, anything's possible. I mean, I'm currently looking for sponsors right now so that we can continue to travel up to the Scrapyard event every month. I mean, currently we're funding it ourselves, and it's about a 3 hour drive for us. I mean, it's an event worth investing in, but if we can get some sponsors that are willing to help, get us up there, we're willing to help promote their business during the event and during our fights. I put together a whole sponsorship package, team package. So if there's anybody interested in that, yeah, hit me up and we'd be happy to talk. And we have no problem going places. I mean, we love to travel, and I'd be happy to take some of the scrapyard other fighters with us. If we had the finances for it, who knows? That's what it really comes down to. It's at least for me, that's what it comes down to.
Absolutely. Damn, all right. Shoot, I might have to send you a message after this, because,
Hell yeah.
how much well.
Hey, we'd appreciate it, man. I'll send you our package deals. I got a podcast myself. We'll also shout you out on there as well. That's
Heck
dope.
yeah. Well, I've tuned into it personally.
Oh
Everyone might
yeah,
not know about it.
I had no clue. No. How do you feel about it? You got any tips?
I like it. It's cool, especially for the fact that the uniqueness of how you have it's in the gym. You all are set up right there, and you have the logo in the background too. I really like it, and you guys really go off of each other, which is sweet too. I like the not comedic aspect, but the enjoyment of the free flow energy and everything. I was like, oh,
Yeah, it's it's that camaraderie. We've all trained together for years. Not so much Steven, he's been with me now for a year, but just in a matter of a year, man, we've gotten really close. I feel that way when I train with people, which is actually kind of brings up a point why it's also kind of difficult for me to be competitive or so competitive at the scrapyard is because once I train with somebody, I mean, I feel like I know you on another level, like on an intimate level, man. Like there's a certain level of trust that we have to have when we train together. There's I know your mentality. I know how you act under duress. I know if you're dirty or not. Like if you're gonna try to amp it up on me when I'm trying to keep a slow pace. You can tell a lot about somebody by training with that person. And since I've been able to train with some of the scrapyard fighters now, it's like, man, you guys are buddies. I'm not. How can I go in there with the same intensity as I would with somebody I don't know? You know, it's difficult. It's proving to be more difficult than I anticipated. It wasn't something I originally thought was going to happen when we started doing this. The whole purpose for even starting the, or for me going to the scrapyard was to get some notoriety for our gym. We're a new gym. Our gym just hit over a year old, so we're very new. I started the competition team, I believe in what is that, March. It was my first competition. So we started in March, and it's only been about 7 months or something like that. And our gym's only a year old, so we're trying to get some notoriety out there for what it is we do and how we train. And I thought that the scrapyard provided a great platform for us to get our name out there. And that was my only, that's all I knew about it, was that. And then when I got there, I really saw the community, and I got to meet some of the guys and like-minded individuals. Like, people are really passionate about martial arts, and I can relate to that because I've been passionate about it my whole life. And so when I can be around a community of people that also feel the same way, it's an amazing thing. And I understand why they want to make a documentary about it. I really hope that they're able to capture that part about it, and it's not just about like we talked about, like just backyard fighting. It's a lot more than that, and it's providing a lot more for a lot of individuals. I mean, look at what it's done for, just the three of us now. I mean, all of us have a podcast that is directly involved with Streetbeefs or the Scrapyard. Yeah, there you go. That says something right there. That unintentionally they provide it. I mean, I don't think that was the intention when they started either, for it to evolve to be all this. So it's pretty amazing that it's gotten to this point.
Facts.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, as far as fighters, who are some of your influences? People that you like?
Oh, man, that's a really good question. Well, my former trainer, I trained under him for 22 years, 22 and a half years.
Wow.
So he was a very big influence on my martial arts, as well as my previous Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructor. And I don't really want to get into it too much. I had a bit of a falling out with both of them over a year and a half ago. So I had to move on from that. But I would say they have been the primary influence in my life when it comes to martial arts. I've always been a fan of MMA and the sport of it. I like a lot of the old school guys, Chuck Liddell's, the Randy Couture's, Fedor, Krokoff, Rampage, all those guys, and even the current guys, Demarius, John Jones. There's a lot of amazing talent nowadays, and I've always just been a real big fan of the level. I mean, because there are levels in this, and if you've been in it long enough, you'll understand that. Like there are levels to it, and when you have an understanding of what those levels are, you can really appreciate somebody at the top of their game. And anybody that's competing on those levels, I look at them and they're a real inspiration to me. And I can't think of anybody just singular outside of my own personal people that have been a huge influence. How about you guys? What do you guys got?
Sound good?
Man, Bruce Lee, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson.
Do you have anybody personally that was close to you that may have influenced?
Oh, for sure, for sure. My JKD instructor, my coach as well. A few of my sparring partners back in the day. But yeah.
Did you? I did not cut you off. Did you do any kata and stuff when you were in Taekwondo?
No, I never did Taekwondo. I studied Jeet Kune Do.
Oh, you did Jeet Kune Do. Okay. Did you guys do any kata and Jeet Kune Do?
No. No.
Okay.
No. I did. What is kata?
Kata is like the forms, like you see them do like the movements they do, like the techniques they do in a pattern. You
Yeah,
ever see
I got
that?
a friend who's into that.
Okay.
And when we trained together, I kind of told him let's get to the physical, the physical
Oh,
contact. But
if you're interested in it, I'll show you how to break that stuff down so it can translate to physical for you. It's the same as think of it like this. It's the same as shadow boxing. It's all about the intention. So if you guys
I,
are interested in that, let me know. Get some traditional training in.
I'll take a
Heck
look at
yeah.
it. I'll take a look at
Uh-huh.
it. I'm very specific with what I intake. So,
Fair
but
enough.
I'll take a look at it. Um, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. For me,
Cool.
buddy.
I was gonna say, I think one that hits home is growing up. I'd always love watching De La Hoya because, like, just being what he accomplished at such a young age, I was like, wow. And it being Mexican, I'm like, that's someone I could look up to. And
Yeah.
my tia Loli from my family, funny enough, when she was kind of like a little bit more like knock your ass out, but I know she went to boxing gyms and stuff, and she got like pretty decent to the point before she got herself in a little trouble. She was like sparring with dudes, knocking some dudes out. She was swollen. I'm like, how the hell? Jesus. And so that's when I was like, okay. And my uncles taught me a little more, and I kind of got more into it. And having a very long background in wrestling since I was real
Yeah.
little, that definitely helped translate over to the MMA. And I tried to incorporate some of like Conor McGregor's speed, but I always like the Diaz brothers for sure. Just the
Oh yeah.
that connection they had together with like, we'll fight anyone, we'll do this and that, blah blah blah. It's like,
Oh,
damn.
super tough. Yeah. Very tough. That's awesome, man.
Chicano, I'm brown and proud. What you talking about, man? Hey.
Well, I got some tias that are like that too. They like to get a little rowdy at the quinceañeras and shit. So that's pretty funny.
Dang. Now, we're getting close to the time where I gotta be a bad guy, but we usually have one last question from each of us, and I was kind of curious why or no, how long I should say have you actually been coaching? Because we hear a lot of fighters say there's gonna come a point when they'll kind of just coach when they can't fight, but they don't really know about that transition. But you being both a fighter and a coach, I mean, I'm kind of curious.
How long have I been coaching, or how long will I be coaching?
Oh,
Which
how long
one?
have you been coaching, and how long will?
Okay. Well, I will say formally, since our gym opened up a year and a half ago, I've been coaching. Prior to that, I was an instructor at my father's school, and I was probably an instructor under him for about 6 years prior to that, or prior to
Damn.
this one. So I've coached for a while. I plan on coaching for as long as we are able to, have a competition team, and as long as people want to come and train with me, if I can help you, I will. I don't try to feed anybody any kind of delusional shit. I'm not a pro, and I don't know it all. My podcast, like my podcast says, man, I'm forever a white belt. I know concepts. I've been doing this for a long time, and maybe you can learn something from me. Maybe I can learn something from you. But I just enjoy training with people. So if you want to get some rounds in, stop in and see me, man.
Heck yeah. Hoo, hoo, hoo. And Sonke, did you have a final question for Mr. Naughty Nate for the evening?
Yeah, man. Just wanted to ask, man, as far as like competing, how long do you want to continue doing that?
That's a really good question. Something I've been thinking about lately because I am 36 years old. And like I said, the level of competition is, I mean, it's not I would say it's high amateur when it comes to the scrapyard. We got some guys out there that have the potential, with some couple more years of training, they can go pro for sure. So for me, I would say I want to compete until I get on the wall for sure and get my name up on the wall. I think that's 9 wins. So however long that takes, if I can get 9 wins up there, that's how long I want to stay pretty active in competing. And then after that, who knows? Maybe I'll do a match once a year or twice a year or something. I mean, I can never stay too far away from it, and I make this my lifestyle. So competing is part of that. It just competing to me is it can only emulate a real fight. You know, it's not a real fight, but it's a close thing you can get to one and be relatively safe. So when I go and compete, it helps me expose, like, again, my holes in my game. So every now and again, I want to go in there and test myself to make sure that my training's on point, so that when I am teaching people, that it's something that is useful, it's legitimate. What I'm teaching you works. I can show you. I'm out there testing it myself, you know, and I'm willing to do that. And I don't know if there's too many coaches that are willing to go out there and still do that. A lot of people that are living off their former reputation, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, man, yeah, I definitely know one or two of those. No,
I
but
bet.
before we do any sort of wrap up for the show or any sort of anything, we have to make sure we not only get your social media, but we got to get your shout outs. We got to get all sorts of anything that you want to let people know about you that we weren't able to talk about. I mean,
Oh, all right. So if you guys haven't yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Look up Naughty Nate. Check out my podcast. It's called FAWB, FAWB. It stands for Forever White Belt. Look me up on Instagram, Naughty Nate. I believe it's Naughty Nate 42088, something like that. You'll find it there. Also, if you can, subscribe to the early access on the Scrapyard channel. It's only, I think it's like a $2.99 a month, and you get early access to all the fights. It's really worth it. You get a lot of behind the scenes stuff too, which is completely awesome. Shout out to Columbia River Jiu Jitsu. We hold an open mat every Friday night at 5 p.m. Please stop in, get some rounds with us. I'm there every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. And I'm also there on Sundays at 11. My podcast drops every Sunday at 1 p.m. And man, I think that's about it. I think that's my shout out. Shout out to Fire Chicken, everybody at the Scrapyard, all my buddies, everybody that's gonna see this. Love you guys. Thank you guys for having me on. It's been a fun been a fun podcast, guys. Really, I appreciate it. I hope you guys had a good time too. It was good getting to know you guys, buddy. I hope to see you soon. I'll be up there in October, and maybe we get some more rounds in.
Yes, I started ever since. I ran every day since, and I'm like, you know what? I'm running every day.
It's been 2 days, buddy.
You sparring?
It's been 2 days. It's consistency is key. It's been 2 days. All right, do it a week.
All right.
All right, brother.
Hey, it's been great having you, bro.
All right, man. Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys soon. All right.
Peace.
Thank you. Man, that was awesome.
Yeah, man. Good dude, man. Good dude. But it ain't over.
Not quite yet. Don't worry, guys.
So I got to ask you, because I always everything I do with the podcast comes from a place of sports, right? My brain always works in sports. So with an artist, isn't it almost like, sure, my first contract was shit, but I'm playing for my second contract. I'm playing for, like, to get that generational wealth, because that first contract, you're new, they got you, they can give you whatever they want, plus you're learning the game.
I'm not mad at anybody that feels that way. I feel like a lot of, not even just artists, I think with a lot of shit, your first deal, your first whatever the hell it is, be the shittiest one, because you're still learning the situation, you're still learning the game. Once you learn more, that second one, you're gonna make sure it works for you. It may feel like it may look like it's a little less than the first contract, but it works out better for you than that first contract did.
What's up, everybody? It's Jay from Yankee and the Brit, bringing you some exciting news. King Palms and Yankee and the Brit are teaming up together to give you an amazing deal. Head over to kingpalm.com, use promo code KPYNB to save 20% off your entire order. That's right.
Buddy V's Fighters to Watch.
You know, we always start off with the scrapyard. Now, this guy done a miss. Oh my goodness. Oh, my autocorrect must have done that. It's sorry, Dunamis. That was definitely my autocorrect. Someone brought that up earlier. uh, so this guy, I actually had noticed Jay was one of the fighters to watch before. This guy came out and did to Jay what Jay did to his previous opponent that put him on this list. Say they wound him up, let him go. He did not stop. And when I see boys of this size moving the way he moves, they always catch my eye because it's just like, wow, look at the power, look at the speed. And this was his first fight. So if that's the case, please come back. Let me see some more. Please. But yes, do not miss. That was my bad, Jay. Sorry, I didn't see when I sent it this morning. So from the West Coast, this is a fun one. Joey Buck. This man already looked tough. But as we know before, you can't always trust looks. But this time you can. He's not only strong, he can not only eat a punch, he picks his punches, loads up, and makes sure that he puts oomph behind those hits. And let me tell you, when they land, his opponents feel them. If you don't believe me, look at his fights. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So here's a couple. Joey Buck. Let me get a couple more, man. Come on. Yes. You're definitely one of my fighters to watch. From the OG yard, Lucas. Similar reoccurring theme like with the scrapyard. Now, Kalunga. This man had a mohawk. He was super buff. And this guy, he whoops ass. Lucas is the man who gave this man a run for his money. He came out, he swole head to toe. Just jacked. Not only that, he kept going, and again, did not stop. And it's a wonder when you see very muscular people, you're like, okay, they're going to gas out first round. We'll see what happens after that. This guy didn't stop. And afterwards, is mid-second round, towards the end of second round, when the fight finishes, he's not even breathing hard. He's like, I could have kept going. I could have this. So because of that mentality, because of that level, I need to see more. I want to see what Lucas is made of. I want to see someone on his level because Kalunga was on his level too. And we saw just where that ended. So come on, Lucas. Let's get some more going. And the last one. Okay, this one was Zach DeGita. I had to go back a little bit because, as we know, Dirty South is only has an events every few months, which makes it more fun. Because of that, when you look at this gentleman, he actually brings up how he lost a lot of weight on his journey. And that's part of what brought him into fighting and in the fitness, because he's a personal trainer who lost a tremendous amount of weight. And he has to fight to do that. So he wanted to fight in this cage. And his opponent was tough. His opponent was mean. And this man did not stop fighting. No matter what. There was reversals. There was back and forth. And this man kept fighting, and showed he is truly about his word. And I just want to see you back, man. Come on. Let me see you fight some more. I want to see you dig deep some more. Give us some more inspiration. Those are my 4 fighters to watch.
Great picks as always, man. Great picks as always.
Almost.
Fire. Sam Can the Fire 5. We're going to start things off at Streetbeefs OG Yard. You see it. Bam versus Easy E boxing match. This is one of those old school gyms right here. You see the ring. Like I said, sometimes it's dirt. These guys are both gritty fighters. They gave us a slugfest every single round. All gas, no breaks. And both of these guys were coming forward, throwing barrages. But as we always say, cardio is key. Cardio is key. Cardio is key. Pacing is key. Pacing is key. But these guys gave us a banger nonetheless. Comment who you thought won, because this was a very close call fight right here. Streetbeefs OG Yard, Bam versus Easy E. Yeah, you see it. Streetbeefs Scrapyard. This was a banger right here. Malik Ogun versus Some Weave in Red. You've seen Some Weave on the show before, and he had his he had his a moment to fight the champion, and this did not disappoint. This was a very nice, calculated, technical boxing match right here. Both men showing great discipline, and we got to see the slips, the counters, the timing, and both of these guys having great IQs. And this was a chess match, and a very close match at that. Comment who you thought won. This is Streetbeefs Scrapyard, Malik Ogun versus some weeb in red. Fire fight. Yeah, taking you to Streetbeefs West Coast. Let's go. This is at the 4-year anniversary. This is the East Coast versus West Coast right here. This is Wing C versus Mono. You seen Wing C on the show not too long ago, and this was his fight. This man did not disappoint. He came in and landed an 8-foot landing from the top of the fence, top of the top of the world, and we saw God level talent being displayed. We saw dance moves. We saw competitive, entertaining, brutal fight between these guys, and a lot of blood, a lot of sand, a lot of hematomas. Streetbeefs West Coast, Wing C versus Mono, firefight. Taking you down south, Streetbeefs Dirty South, Black Native versus Thunder Dragon. This was the rematch right here. That's right, this is the rematch. These two have also fought before, and they came back to run it back. We saw some solid grappling and defense on display. Saw a few reversals, a few ground strikes, and yeah, these guys, they kind of spiced it up towards the end. We had a controversial call. We got an extra round, and this is one of those ones where you gotta watch the fight from start to finish. Fire fight right here. Streetbeefs Dirty South, Black Native versus Thunder Dragon. And we're gonna go ahead and end things at Streetbeefs OG Yard. Mammoth versus Ragnarok. You see this 3 minutes and 7 seconds. These men did not waste any time. They say styles make fights. We have the wrestler going against pretty much a guy who he's just a finisher. Yeah, you see the timestamp. We got a beautiful finish at the end. And what more can I say? Streetbeefs OG Yard, Mammoth versus Ragnarok. Samkan the firefight.
Fire! Man, I saw a snippet of the Winged Sea fight too, but I have to go watch that whole thing. So I'm like,
yeah, man. You got to watch the whole fight. We got several of the anniversary fights are up. So you guys go out there, check them out. All of the anniversary fights were bangers. And I believe all the fights up right now are East Coast versus West Coast. So all the East Coast, they called it the East Coast Invasion. Hey, those guys came out and they showed out. I'm not gonna lie. The East Coast guys came and showed out. So shout out to the OG Art fighters, and shout out to the West Coast, because we still did our thing.
hell yeah. Man, well, I'm about to go watch these after the show, but is it about that time?
It's about that time, brother. Just want to give my quick shout outs. Shout out to our guest tonight, Naughty Nate. We appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Coyote, we'll catch up with you. Good luck on your fight this month. Shout out to the people watching. People watching us on replay, we appreciate you as well. People in the live chat, we appreciate you guys as well. OG Yard, Scrapyard, West Coast, Dirty South. We do this for y'all. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to Overtime Hustling Magazine. Shout out to Heart in the Fight. Shout out to zwellworld.com. That's where you can get all your Zwell merch. That's also where you can get an exclusive Cardio is Key shirt. Go ahead and get that. Cop that while you can. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate you guys for being here. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do that. It helps everyone. We're here to help everyone. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to Buddy V. Appreciate y'all.
Heck yeah, shout out to Zuel. And as you know, the Zuel-world.com, I was originally taking it down for the revamp. Nah, I got a little busy last week, so I kept it up. But I was updating throughout the week. So if you go, you'll notice an MMA underground page where you'll find both Sam K and Jay behind the scenes on there with a neat little description about them too. So go check it out and let me know what you think. You know, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, or go to the Zwell World Facebook just to say, hey, yo, check out the website, whatever. Just let me know what you think. Hell yeah. And I'm having too much fun, so make sure you stay tuned because I was grinding for the past few weeks, and I mean grinding hard. And this upcoming week, I have videos getting released, all sorts of new merchandise getting released. And Zwell's definitely been doing some interesting ventures. So if you even have some gifts you need to give for your ladies, there's some really nice earrings I made. I can give you a little preview. But it was tiger's eye with a little obsidian in the middle, pure
Okay.
stone too,
Okay.
handmade. So you
Get
know
that for your lady.
yeah, get a little something for the ladies too. So you know, Zwell's doing everything now. And we don't want to keep any more of your time because you have the rest of your Tuesday night to enjoy. So Samke, I always appreciate you. Thank you for helping me kill it every week. Jay, we kept you on your toes. And you ran it so smooth, we can't even say anything. Dang, we gotta keep it up, you know? And for everyone watching, thank you as always. And we'll end it in Jay's famous words with one world, one love, deuces.